Okay, welcome to the Intro to CTFs workshop for ACM Cyber Fall 20 or Winter 2022. The check-in code is capture the flag. Oh, people are still joining. All right, so if you just joined, welcome to the workshop. The check-in code is capture the flag, and we are going to start off with a quick introduction. So, hi, I'm your host, Rahil. I have like 4 or 5 years of experience in CTFs now, and I play in some of the best CTF teams in the world. Let's find out what rank are we. Okay, yeah, I play on this team, number 5, Dice Gang. In 2021, we were also 5th. 2020, we were like 11th. It was really sad. But yeah, so I have quite a lot of experience in doing capture the flag competitions, and my specialties personally are reversing and binary exploitation. Everyone has their own niche, their own specific skill set. So whatever you think is the most interesting, you can go and try and work on those kinds of challenges. So time for a quick poll. If I can figure out how polls work again. I thought I fixed this. Okay. Okay. Oops, the poll is untitled, but we have the poll out now. So if you've participated in CTFs, that's cool. If you haven't, that's also totally fine. Yeah, hopefully I can get polls working without the extensive knowledge of binary exploitation techniques, but we'll get there. Okay, so it looks like we have a 60-40 split. 60% of you guys have participated and 40% have not. That's cool. So capture the flags. We're looking at this left picture right here. This is a lot more of what we're going to be looking like. I think this is a picture from Seesaw, which is a in-person CTF hosted by the New York University, and it's held once a year. Most CTFs are held once a year, but because there's so many different kinds of them, we end up getting a lot of different CTFs to play. And we are not doing this thing on the right over here. Don't worry, no physical activity required. That's the best part of CTFs in my opinion. So what is a CTF for the people that haven't played? This is a type of computer security competition. We like to think of them as hacker contests because we're going to be using offensive security techniques to be able to do this kind of stuff. So this isn't going to be, oh, secure the system so no one can attack it or something like that. This is going to be a lot more like exploit the system, find the flag that is not supposed to be found and stuff like that. So you can do it with teams or individuals, and they take place around the world. My team just like last month participated in a CTF in Saudi Arabia. And so they flew out to Saudi Arabia and then they got like second place and they made like 40K. It's kind of crazy. So they really come in all shapes and sizes. They could be like a little school thing that someone holds and they have like a $50 prize. They could be a huge thing in China with tens of thousands of dollars of prizes. And there's everything in between as well. So the first CTF took place in 1996, and like 25 years from now, or since then, we are still going strong. So here is our first little, or this is going to be our interactive activity this event. We have Pico CTF, which is going to be we're going to walk through a basic CTF experience. We are going to go over a couple of introductory challenges, and you can sign up at this link, play.picoctf.org/register. So if you already have done this before and you have an account, you can just log in. Otherwise, you can use the link that I'm putting in chat. And this should work just like that. And you can see the register page will look just like this. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to do that. Okay. Okay, are you guys all signed up and chilling? You can give me like a thumbs up in reaction, I guess, if you are good. I see one thumbs up. 3. I'll wait till there's like 5 and then we should be fine. Okay. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds and then we will move on. Okay. So we're just gonna move on now. I was gonna do a poll, but we're skipping this real quick. And we're just gonna move on really quickly. So there's a couple of different kinds of CTFs. By far the most common is going to be the Jeopardy style of CTF. It's really easy to hold, and it's really like easy for other people to do, because you can just walk in, do a couple of challenges that you're interested in, and then like dip out. There's no real commitment to it, and no real like difficulty in barrier of entry. So the challenges will be provided by the organizers. You'll have a couple of different categories, and you'll find a flag for points. So this CTF example CTF image we have over here, it has a lot of categories. We have reversing, exploitation, forensics, networking, web, recon, and trivia. There's a couple of categories missing and a couple more categories than are often there, but this is just like one example. And these flags that we're talking about, they'll all have this kind of format, and the format will be different depending on which CTF that you're doing. So in this example that we have UCSD CTF, open brackets, and then some message, and then close brackets. If you do a different CTF, it'll have a different header. So if you do DEFCON CTF, it might be DEFCON CTF, open brackets, something, close brackets, or DC CTF, or something like that. Aztec symbols. Yeah, Aztec symbols. That's a good one. So the other kind of CTF that exists, there's couple of fringe ones, but the two main ones are going to be Jeopardy and attack and defense. So attack and defense, there's a lot fewer of them because they have a lot higher operating cost and barrier to entry. The way attack and defense CTFs work is that you'll have your own server up and you have to protect your server while exploiting other people's servers. And you'll get points for how long your server is up, and you'll get points for hacking into other people's servers. Famously, DEF CON CTF, the finals of DEF CON CTF is generally going to be an attack and defense CTF. But they'll have a qualifiers that is a Jeopardy CTF. So they have a Jeopardy CTF, and then they take the top however many teams from that, and they'll be qualified for the attack defense CTF. This is fairly common as it happens in other situations as well. A lot of the big CTFs will have a qualifiers and a finals. So there's other competitions that aren't necessarily CTFs. These include things like Cyber Patriot, which you may have done in high school if you have any experience with cybersecurity from then. CCDC is the Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition. This is more of a realistic business environment version of Cyber Patriot, where you're still defending systems. And CPTC is the Collegiate Penetration Testing Competition, which is like more offensive, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot less custom compared to CTFs. CPTC, a lot of the time, you will be doing a very standard penetration test. It's very formulaic. You'll have to run a bunch of tools, and it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. You're not really developing exploits like you do in CTFs. These are all awesome learning experiences, but they're very different from CTFs, and they also have a lot steeper of a learning curve just to get into. So, time for a poll, which I am pulling up again. Okay, final. It's launched. What type of CTF is Pico CTF? Wow, this is big. We are 7 for 7, 100% correct. 8 for 8, 100% correct so far. Yeah, Nick, my favorite CTF is SDCTF too. And we'll talk a little bit more about SDCTF later, hopefully. Okay, 9 for 9. You guys are kind of popping off on the poll today. Everyone was right. It is indeed a Jeopardy style CTF. A lot of pollers in chat today, yeah. So why do we do CTFs? One of, if not the best way to get started in security. So getting started into security can seem like a really difficult thing to do. There's not a lot of resources for it. There's not a lot of like college classes we can take. Like the only class at UCSD, from my knowledge, that's an undergraduate class that you can take for cybersecurity is 127. And 127, CSE 127 is blocked behind a lot of barriers, so you can't even take it until you're like a junior. So it's really difficult to get into security without something like a CTF. You learn through experience. You can apply it to a lot of different things. Like I know my reversing experience helped me in like multiple CTF classes or CSE classes that I took in UCSD, like CSE 30. I had already learned all of ARM assembly before even taking CSE 30, so it was kind of easy to do. And some companies even use CTFs to recruit new employees. I know when I went to Seesaw in New York, there was one company that was recruiting there, and they would give us a challenge, and that challenge was the recruiting challenge. If you got to level 3 of their recruitment CTF challenge, they would just give you an interview right there. So it's kind of cool. It's really good for experience, and you can maybe get some accomplishments that people will think are really cool on your resume if you're interested in the security space. Okay, so let us start finding some flags. We're just going to start off with a couple of general skills things. So we can do a couple of challenges. If you navigate to Pico CTF, filter it on the very bottom at Pico CTF 2019, and then go to general skills, and you'll see the 3 challenges that we want to do. Put it in chat. Let's warm up, strings it, and netcat. So if you don't have a Linux computer or anything yourself, you can use the web shell right here, which I don't know my password for, so let me find that really quickly. Anyways, I'll give you guys like about 5 minutes to work on these 3 challenges, and then we'll run a poll seeing if you guys are chilling or not. Okay, I'm gonna put out the poll again. Are we good? Do we need a little bit more time? Uh, yeah, okay. So we good, there's yeah, which means you're good. Now 1 sec, you're almost done. And help, you are stuck and you will need assistance. Okay, now 1 sec, I will give you guys another 3 to 5 minutes. Should be fine. Okay, this should be like 4 minutes since then, so I will relaunch the poll. And if you guys have a specific one challenge that you want me to go over, just type it in chat and we can try it out. Okay. Nice. Okay. We can just do this. I just opened all the challenges. Um, okay. So I don't know if you seen there was still a 1 second. So depending on which challenge you want, the way you solve the strings at challenge is you call the strings command, which prints all of the strings in the file, and you can grep, which searches for Pico CTF. For netcat, you just use the nc command as such, just like that, nc URL and then a port. And then for the warm up, it was just to check out an ASCII table, which I kind of remembered off the top of my head. So you can just look it up, like ASCII table, and you have all this. Okay, so moving on, we have forensics. We're gonna take a little bit longer on this one. We have Glory of the Garden, Corrupt, Shark on Wire 1. We're not gonna solve all of these right now, because I think that would take a little bit more than 10 minutes. But oopsies. But I will show you a little bit, and if you are interested, we can go over it a little bit more. So, Glory of the Garden, Corrupt, and Shark on Wire. I was just letting people go over challenges on their own, and then I was pulling some stuff up for when I inevitably go over these challenges. Yeah. All will be explained promptly. Okay. Okay. We can probably just get started on showing you what's up. Okay, so I will go over these problems because I think they're a little bit less intro-y, just by the nature of their challenges, than the general skills ones. So going over garden, it was this one was probably the easier one. Um, so it's just a regular JPEG file, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the file, you can see that this is the flag. They just leave it there at the bottom. And I believe this should be solvable by strings as well. So if I open this and I can copy this link and W get it into my terminal. Oops. And then I strings it. You can find the flag right here. Grab Pico CTF. And that's all good. So we can close this tab. The next one was it corrupt? Yeah. So this is the file corrupt. We can look at it and be a little bit confused because it doesn't seem to be anything. However, if you look at the end, you see this thing called iEnd. And if you mess around with files a lot, you will know that iEnd is the end of a PNG file. So hex, so I can look here, go to the PNG header. If I put these side by side, which I don't think I can share that way, but you'll just have to take my word for it, I guess. What's happening here? Okay, so I have it pulled up on this site right here. 010 editor has a template for fixing PNG files. I don't do much I don't do much forensics, so I don't know what that is. Sorry. If you could link me, that'd be really cool though. Okay, so we have ooh. Uh this is really cool actually. So there's lots of tools for lots of CTF things, like Nick is sharing in chat. But because I don't really want to download this right now, I'll just do this like manually really quickly. This should be a 50. This should be a 47. 0A. 1A and then 0A again. That might fix it. As history.png. And we can try it and maybe that will work. and it did not. Let's see, to the zeros, it should be, so this is also supposed to be 49, and this is supposed to be 48, 44, 52. And that is the first 16 bytes. Gamma sRGB. I think that's fine now. Try it again. And unlucky. Seems I have made an error somewhere. Oh, that's supposed to be a 48. Maybe that fixes it. 8950, 4847. Darn. Okay, this is unfortunate. I was going to demo this, but I did not. I forgot to install any tools beforehand for this, and I don't really do very much forensics. But you can check out the tool Nick sent in chat, and hopefully that will help you with all your forensic needs. And then the last one, which I think I have this working. Go to. Okay, I can change my share to this. We have Wireshark. So another thing you will notice about CTF challenges, whether it be subtle or not, for Shark on Wire, that name, the name of the challenge, is a huge hint for the way in which you go about solving the challenge. In this situation, because it says Shark on the Wire, the challenge is a Wireshark challenge. And the way you would go through this is you can click on one of these packets and you can follow the packet streams. And if you look through all the packet streams until you find something interesting, okay, you can try a different stream. Perhaps this SSDP stream, a UDP stream, stream 0, stream 1, over and over again, Pico, 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 Pico CTF, and here is the flag. Okay, so we will do another poll. Is this all cool? And oh wait, I just realized the way Wireshark works, you could not see that. We'll try it this way. Okay, so share. And you can see the way this works is as such. I can click on one of these packets. We will go to a UDP packet. We can follow the UDP stream, and we can click through on the bottom right through these streams until you find the flag. There's a lot more information that you'll be able to find through Wireshark, but this is just one example of how to do it. So I did the poll again. So if you guys have questions about the challenges we just went over, please type them in chat. Otherwise, we will move on soon, promptly. Okay. Okay. We're just gonna move on now. So the next thing we're gonna try out is reverse engineering. And this is going to be the vault door training challenge. Also something I don't recommend that you don't use. Ah, thank you, Nick. That is such a yeah, we definitely do not uh yeah, we don't recommend that you search for a license key generator for that editor, because there's definitely not some online educational GitHub repository that has it. There's definitely nothing on the internet that would help you get that. Okay, so this is the Vault Door Training Challenge. And you can see here, this is a Java challenge. A lot of the reverse engineering challenges that we do will not be in Java, but they're a good introductory one. A lot of introductory reverse engineering challenges will be in either Java or Python, something of that sort, where it's more easy to read. But let's just get into it. I'm just gonna start going over these as we go on, because this don't want the workshop to run too long. So we have a class, a Java class, with one single function, and we have something that is trying to do. Okay, so our check password function is simply returning the password. So we can Java. I don't know how to run Java files. It's been a while. Probably just type Java vault door training and it should work. But to read this a little bit harder. So this class is creating a vault door training instance, creating a scanner which will take our input, and then it is reading our input. String input is equal to user input.substring. So it's expecting us to put in the Pico CTF with it. So we can try this again. Do Pico CTF open brackets, paste and close bracket. Oh, oopsies. We're just gonna do it right here. We're gonna formulate this together. Pico CTF, open brackets, that. There we go. Now that we have this, we can call it Java, vault.training.java. We can paste. This seems to be going extremely slowly, but eventually this will work. I think we could just paste it in here and it should be fine. Okay. Pico, CTF, open brackets, and close brackets. And we're all good. Okay, there we go. You wouldn't download a house. This is true. So yeah, that is just one example of a reverse engineering challenge. We're going to be looking at the code and seeing what it does and try and figure it out. This is actually a challenge that I really like, so we're going to take a look at this one too. So, oops. So we're going to look at this code, and all it wants you to do is see what is returned by the function, and it uses ASM. And I think assembly is a really important thing to learn for reverse engineering in general. So I will just really quickly go over this. So we can break this challenge up into and write code comments to understand what's going on. So this is setting up the function. So all that's doing. This is comparing the first argument with 0x1c. 7-1c, sorry. Okay. If it is greater than, go to line 37, which is going to be here. And here we're going to compare with 0x8be. And if it's not equal to, then we jump there. Or if it's not equal to, if not equals, jump to 54. Here we can, okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. There. Then we compare with 0x CCF, okay? So here, oopsies, we're gonna cut this, paste it here. And you can kind of see how this program is working out. So the next thing that's different is here, move the argument into a place we can manipulate it. So we have it as EX equals arg0, okay? Now we are adding 3, add 3, and then we jump to here where we end. So this is the end of the function. End function. And let us see really quickly what was the parameters that we were given. So we're calling it with 0x8be, okay? And we can follow the execution. So we compare it, it is greater than, so we're going to go to line 37. We compare it with this, it is equal to 8be. So because it is equal to, we don't take this jump. We do this, we subtract 3, and then we end. So 0x8be to minus 3 is going to be 0x8b dcb. Okay, so 0x8bb. There we go. And that is how that goes. So I think that's a really interesting way of showing reverse engineering. We're looking at code, whether it be high-level Python code or low-level assembly code, and figuring out what it does and how to get it to do what we want it to do. Okay. So there's 2 more or 3 more that we're going to go over: web, crypto, and binary exploitation. For binary exploitation, we are going to skip it here because a lot of the weekly workshops that we will be hosting, that we'll talk about later, will be going over binary exploitation, and those take a lot of effort to go over. So we'll probably take like 30 minutes to an hour on most binary exploitation challenges. But first, we will go on crypto. So we can check out the crypto challenges, the numbers, flags, and tapping. Okay, again, for sake of time, I think I'm just going to go over these. Okay. So we have crypto, the numbers. The numbers, what do they mean? So we copy this link. We are going to wget it. Oh, it's a picture. Okay. So if you download this picture, you will see it is a bunch of numbers between 0 and 26. And if we think about this logically, if you have numbers between 0 and 26, they are probably going to be some kind of cipher where you convert A to 1, B to 2, C to 3, etc., etc. It's called the A1Z26 cipher. So if you want, I'll share my screen again. This is the picture that is from the thing. So you can see 16 is P, P is the 16th letter, I is the 9th letter, C is the 3rd letter, O is the 15th, C, T, F, open brackets, T, H, the, N, U, the numbers, UMBERS, the numbers Mason. So the flag here, if you work it all out really quickly. Yeah, someone did have fun with the MS Paint spray paint tool. They could have just given it to me in text and I could plug it into an A1Z26, but no, very rude of them. The numbers Mason, big. Okay, so that was the first one. I think the other ones were flags and tapping. So flags, what do flags mean? Flag.png. And here you have a little bit more of an esoteric cipher. So the thing we know about these is we know that this box will be P, this box will be I, this will be C, and this will be O. So we can start kind of working, piecing it together like that. And then we can figure it out. So given what we know, we can try this. So, oopsies. So we have Pico CTF, and then we have F something, something. Wow, wait, what? They give us nothing here. And then we have the last two characters are also Fs. So F blank, 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 blank. Do we have any copies here is the question. So this is T, so it's T something FF. Okay. I remember this one. I don't remember this one. I did do crypto until it became hard, so let's think. We can put this into some kind of substitution cipher guesser. So here we go. We do quip. So we can essentially think of it like this. This will be A, B, C, D, and because this is already defined, we'll put C again. A, B, C, D, C, E, F, open brackets. We have an F here. And then we can go new letters. So G, H, I, J, K. G, H. So we have H already defined. So we will go J, K, H again. K, L, M, Wow, what is that? KLM. And that's before the next H. This is K again. Google naval images. Well, it's too late. We can do it this way too. I'm always still with this. Okay, it's gonna be NOFF. This should probably work. A equals P, B equals I, C equals C, D equals D, or D equals O, and E equals T, and F equals F. Okay, solving this out. Okay, never mind. I do indeed have to use naval images. Using the naval images, we can transcribe it to Pico CTF. It's going to be F. Oh, they're numbers. Why does the second one, why does this not show up anywhere? Is that a G? Oh, flag. I assume it'll be flag or F1G or something. Go with flag for now. FLAG. The X most likely going to be an underscore of some sort. And then we have A N D flag and staff. That's what it is. There we go. Flag and staff. Pico CTF flag and staff. Uh-oh. Where did I go wrong? Oh, flag and stuff. What am I missing? Well, this is awkward. This L, I guess, may not be correct. But the rest of them, oh, flags. Flags and tough. Unlucky. God darn. Okay. We will find the international naval flag signals extended, you know, because we need it to be extended. Naval flag signaling. Okay, it's numbers. So that's what I was missing. So this is not an underscore. It is rather, it is a 5. Let me pull up this picture. Put on my second monitor. Okay. And it is this. Flags and stuff. There we go. No underscores. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And then, well, the last one we were going to go over is going to be tapping. Tapping, you can see we have a net cut length this time, so we can type and see this, and this is Morse code. I'm not decoding Morse code because it's just a waste of my time, but we have tools that will do this for us. Morse code, decrypt, Pico CTF, Morse code. There we go. Okay. This is huge. Perfect. So that one a lot easier, less contrived, but there we go. So crypto, this is kind of the basic crypto. If you're interested, if you like math a lot, crypto can get very expansive in the math fields. There's like fancy like abstract algebra stuff, elliptical cryptography. Yeah, it gets really deep in the mathy stuff. So if you're interested in math, then that's also cool. And then we have web. Web, I'm not the biggest fan of, so we're just gonna go over one quick challenge. Go over inspector because this is all I can really do. So inspect me, I can inspect around. If I look around, we can see there's HTML comments. We have part 1 of the flag, Pico CTF, this. So we copy out of this, we can take that. So we have the beginning of the flag, Pico CTF true D3. Then we can look in the sources, to see the CSS file. And we have the second part of the flag right here. Copy this, add it to our flag. And then we have the JS file. And here is the last part right there. So we can use something like inspect element to find a flag. Now, this also gets a lot deeper. Here we can do this too, because I know how to do this. Where the robots, I can go to robots.txt. And here it gives me a URL, and I can follow this URL. And boom, I got a flag. So cool. A lot of web gets a lot deeper than this, where we get into SQL injections, things like that, where you're hacking the website, where you're dropping the tables and logging in as someone you're not supposed to log in as. And that's where I think web gets really fun. And yeah, so there we go. That's that. This is another challenge. This is a binary exploitation challenge. This is like the most introductory one they have. They don't really have many good introductory binary exploitation challenges, simply because binary exploitation isn't something that's very easy to introduce. So we're gonna skip over this for now. If you went to Cyber Gym's last year or last quarter, we might have gone over something like this. If not, we will still go over stuff like this in future Cyber Gyms. So make sure to look out for that event later on this quarter. So upcoming CTFs, we have CTFs run almost every weekend. You can compete solo with friends, and on our Discord, in the ACM Cyber Discord, you can add the hacker role to stay updated. We haven't been too active recently, mostly because a lot of our CTF players have been building our own CTF, San Diego CTF, which will happen in May. But until then, we will try our best to start competing a little bit more. And then the other thing is there's a beginner Pico mini. So if you go back to your Pico CTF, there is a CTF going right now through Pico CTF, aimed at beginners, called the Beginner Pico Mini. You can sign up here, and it is continuing for the next 17 days. So you have 17 more days if you want to try it out and see if you like it. If you ever get stuck or something like that, you can write down the challenges and or ask me to go over them after the CTF is over. It's really important to not talk about CTF challenges while they're running, because that's like against the terms of service or whatever of all CTFs. So make sure not to ask on public forums or anything about answers to a CTF challenge. But after it's over, they have these huge forums where we can look at answers to lots of CTF challenges. So for example, in uh, archive 2020, 2019, something like that. There we go. Hello. Oh, there we go. So I can look for Pico CTF, the one that we were just doing. And in here, if it ever loads, you can see we have event tasks and write-ups, and all of these challenges have people writing up and giving you answers for them. So as you can see here, if I click on overflow 1, you can read this write-up, and it goes over the challenge, how to solve it, and their thought processes on how to do it. Now, some of these CTFs are not that easy, and they start extremely difficult, where you won't even be able to solve a single challenge in it. And a lot of those CTFs may seem like out of reach or not very fun in the beginning, but the more that you do it, the more it will get a little bit more interesting. Oh, also Newark Academy CTF, that's also going to end tomorrow. That's also a pretty good beginner CTF if you're interested. I have a friend that's runs the CTF every year, and it usually has fairly decent, at least binary exploitation and reverse engineering problems. I'm not sure about the other categories because he doesn't do those categories and I don't do those categories, so I wouldn't know too much. But you can also go to this website, ctftime.org, to find any CTFs that you are interested in. Some CTFs are going to be really hard, like Real World CTF is this Chinese CTF where they give you real applications and you just burn your 0 days on it and they give you a lot of money if you do that. And other things like Dice CTF, which is the CTF of my team, which I may or may not have a challenge written for. This CTF is also generally really difficult because it's more competitive, but there is also always some better CTFs that are easier, like RUCTFE is going to be an easier CTF, like more beginner friendly. San Diego CTF by yours truly and Nick also in chat is writing challenges for. That's going to be in May, and so leading up to that, we're going to be doing a lot of CTF stuff like cyber gyms, and I think we are going to be having a professional cybersecurity engineer come in and go over internal CTF challenges that they've made with us in spring, probably spring week 1 or spring week 2. Hopefully that will be in person. Yeah, and so if you guys are ever interested in doing a CTF or you want to do a CTF and you don't know if it'll be too difficult, you can always just try. Also, if you really don't know, you can always just message me because I know most CTFs and if they're going to be beginner friendly or not. A lot of them will tell you if they're beginner friendly or not. But yeah. Also, you can see CTFs with really high ratings are generally high quality, but they also can be very difficult. So Plaid CTF is a really good example of this, where it has a super high rating, but it's also one of the hardest CTFs of the entire year. CTFs with low ratings don't necessarily mean they're bad; they just mean they're new. And yeah, so that's about it. The weekly workshops, the Cyber Gym, will be coming back very soon. Stay tuned in the Discord for updates, and we'll give updates on that very soon. If you guys have any specific topics, specific challenges that you're interested in and you want me to go over, or another one of our experts to go over in the Cyber Gyms, just DM it to me or send it in the Capture the Flag or Hackers Only chat in our Discord, and we will check it out. So now that comes the end of the presentation. Is there any questions before we wrap it up?
And one quick question is, how transferable would you say most of these CTFs are concerning like a professional career? Like, would you say a lot of these skills you can transfer like the on-the-job stuff, or do like employers look at you doing like CTFs in a positive light, or some of them do and some of them don't?
So I've never seen a company look at you negatively for doing CTFs. But yeah, so that's one thing. It can't be a negative, but it can be a positive. Um, CTFing is probably my main work experience, and that's how I got like my internship this summer. So that's just very anecdotal though. As for how the skills transfer, you learn a lot of skills in CTFing depending on what categories you're interested in. I know that a lot of people will use their CTF knowledge for jobs that are not computer security related, but they are always useful for computer security related topics. If you're going to be doing like a SOC job where you're doing like security operations center stuff, CTF challenges are probably less transferable and useful for a professional career. But if you're doing something like pen testing, vuln research, a lot of things like that, bug bounty, all of that stuff is super transferable from CTFs, especially when you get into more advanced CTFs. That stuff's all really transferable. Um, Generally, a good knowledge of CTFs in the space can help you with other things as well. Um, Sometimes like CTFs will have algorithm problems, so if you do a lot of leak coding and stuff, that's cool too. But just off of my top of my head, some of my teammates that are really into cryptography, they do a lot of cryptography in CTFs, but they're actually doing like applied math or quantum stuff in college. So one of them is a crypto main in CTF, but does applied physics, and the knowledge you get from like the advanced math that you need to know for crypto really transfers over to things like physics and applied math and more complex math topics. I hope that answers your questions. If there's anything other like specific stuff, you can ask me now or you can DM me later. Okay, cool. Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll give it around 30 seconds and then I will end the meeting and have a good day. Mhm. Thanks for coming, everyone.